Welcome back. So in our last video, we set up our second screen and we spent some extra time talking about the lookup component and how to use it. In this video, we're going to put the finishing touches on our flow and deploy it to end users. So I was thinking after the last video ended about our shipping specialist field here. And I was wondering, how is this, and this is a question for you, how is this field being used in the flow besides being able to pick a user? I guess my question is, are we using this to update anything on the lead record? And if you spent some time thinking about it, or maybe you already know the answer, we aren't. So we're just collecting the information here, but we haven't yet done anything in order to update the lead record with it. And so we need to take that step, and we'll do that now. I'm also noticing that I spelled shipping specialist wrong. I put the I before the C, so I'll fix that. But I'm going to press done. And what we need to do is we need to take this shipping specialist, whatever the value is here, and then we would like to assign the lead to the shipping specialist. So we need to use this ID, and then we need to update the single lead variable in order to make the owner of that lead whoever ends up being in this shipping specialist field. While we're here, because we're going to assign the lead owner to the shipping specialist, we need to make sure that there's this field is always populated. And to do that, I'm just going to click this required section of the lookup component, and I'm going to say true. And so that way, whenever someone's looking at the shipping specialist in the screen flow, they will be required to fill it in. And then we can reliably use it as the lead owner. So I'm going to press done. And then I'm going to space the create lead to the right a little bit and move the rollback records as well. And then I'm going to delete the connecting line between screen 2 and the create lead records. And so what I'm going to drag to the canvas now, or maybe I could ask you, which of the logical operators over here have we used in previous challenges to set a field value on a record? I'll give you a second. And if you said the assignment element, you're right. So that's what we're going to use here. And you can use an assignment element in a before save flow to update a field value, but you can also use it in other flows, such as a screen flow, to update a record value. So I'm going to call this update lead owner. And then for the record variable, or for the variable that I'm updating, I'm going to click search variables. I'm going to pick the lead record variable, and then I'm just going to scroll down and try to find the owner, or lead owner. Maybe it's called owner ID. I forget. Owner ID right here. So I'm going to click this. And just as our flow fields, or our screen fields, we're updating different fields inside the lead record variable, the assignment gives us the ability to also choose any field we want, and we can manually set the value. And so in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to map the owner ID to the shipping specialist field. So in the value section here, I'll click value. I'll scroll down, and you can see all the different screen components for all the call scripts appear here. But we're going to scroll down, and you can see our lookup element is here. So I'm going to click the lookup element, and then I'm just going to click record ID. And so what this is saying is, hey, assignment operator, or hey, Salesforce, once you hit this assignment element in the flow, go and set the owner ID equal to the record ID of the lookup element. So that's good enough, and we'll press done. And now I will connect our screen 2 to our assignment, and then our assignment to our create lead record. And then I'll press save. And so our final screen isn't connected to anything, and that's no problem. We can fix that. Let's do a final just debug run right here. So I'll press debug, and I just want to make sure that there's no errors when we create the lead record. And if there aren't, then we can turn it on. So we'll quickly run through this and do like Bob Apples 444-777-8888, Bob at bobapples.com, company Appleseed Enterprises. We'll press next. How much does it cost to ship to Australia? Preferred contact method will be text message, follow-up date. I'll just put in a random date. And then we see the shipping specialist is required, and that's really important because you always have to have an owner ID for every record in Salesforce. And because we're using this field for the owner, we would never want it to be blank. So I'll just pick our user here, and I'll just pick myself. And I mostly just want to test that the mapping worked correctly and that a lead could be created. So I'll press next, and we see everything ran through. And then over here on the right, we see that the owner ID field in the lead was assigned properly. So that means that our assignment is working, and when we actually turn this flow on in production, or when we deploy it, we can expect that it will work. And then we see that the rollback records rolled all the changes back. So let's close the debug window here. And we've now reached the point where we're pretty happy with our flow. We have all the screens that we need to collect information. We're leveraging all the different fields, and we don't really need to test anymore. So I'm going to click the rollback records and just delete it off the canvas, because we don't need to do really any more debugging on this prototype flow. We're ready to turn it on for real. So with that said, I will now connect the create records to our final screen. I'll just open up the final screen, and now we can add in some customization here. So I'll click configure header, and then I'll hide the header, and then I'll click configure footer, and I'm just going to hide the pause button, and I might as well hide the previous button as well. And then we can scroll down to the very bottom of the component section, and we can drag a display text over here, and we can just call it display text 2, I think. And I'll make the font size maybe 18, and we'll say the lead has been successfully created. You may close this window. Oops, close. And this will just be a message for end users once the lead is created successfully, so that they know that they can close the window. And I'll just make that size 18 font. So we'll press done, and we'll press save. And so now our flow is done. And so I'm going to press the activate button, and now we will talk about how to deploy this to an end user. So let's open up Salesforce, and you see that we have a Bob Apples record here. So it's a lead record, and where I think this screen would look really good is down here in the left as a utility item. So in Salesforce Lightning, there's this bar at the bottom, and Salesforce is kind of split up into apps. And so right now we're in the sales app, and then inside the sales app, there's a utility item at the bottom called to-do list. We can add any flow in Salesforce, or any screen flow in Salesforce, to this bar at the bottom. And I think that would be a really good way for the junior sales team to quickly access this lead creation wizard, no matter what they're doing in Salesforce. So let's do that. I'm going to press the gear icon and press setup. And we need to navigate to what's called the app manager. So I'm going to type in app manager. And it's important just to know what app you are working with. So we were in the sales app. And so when we scroll down here, we see that there are 2 sales apps already built or come out of the box with Salesforce. And one of those is the Lightning Sales. And that's the one we want to use. So I'm going to click the drop down arrow on the Lightning Sales app and press edit. And this allows us to configure our utility item for this particular app. So you can see this third option here in the app settings is called utility items. So I'll click that open. And now we need to press add utility item. And one of the options here is a flow. So I can click flow, and this will allow us to configure a utility item for our specific flow. And the first thing that we need to do is give it a label, and that will be like the widget at the bottom. So I'll just call it a lead creation wizard. And then we can change the icon. So I'm just going to press the X icon to get rid of the lightning bolt, and then we can see what other icons exist. And one just kind of jumped out at me. It was this one of a little person with a plus sign. I think that's a good representation of like a new lead record. So I'll just select that one. For panel width and panel height, these settings will define the pixel width and height of the utility item itself. So for panel height, I might just do 800, and for panel width, I might just do 500. Maybe I'll do 1,000. Oops, 1,000. And I think that's actually pretty big, but that's fine. It is a screen input wizard, so it'll be good to have some extra space there for the reps to be able to see what they're typing in. And then as you might guess, we have to select our flow. And so I'm just going to click the available options here. This list only shows active flows. So if you're working with a screen and you haven't activated it yet, you'll need to do so before you set up a utility item. But we see ours here. It's called screen-create lead for shipping specialist. So I'll do that. and a one column layout I think is fine. So we'll press save, and then we see that our utility item is created here. If we wanted to, we could reorder it, so it'd be second or first. I'm fine if it's showing up first, so I'll just save that change. And now if we navigate back to the front end of Salesforce, we'll need to refresh our page. But once we refresh, we will see that the utility item now shows in the bottom left. And so I'm just going to click on the home screen here, and I want to be on this home screen, and then we'll just run through the lead creation wizard once. So we'll open it up, and we see that 1000 pixel height is really big, so that's something we would probably want to update, and we could even do that now. So I'll jump back over here, I'll adjust the panel height to maybe be 750, and press save. It's almost jumping off the page when it's set to 1000. So I'll refresh, and we'll open up the lead creation wizard again, and we see that it's more manageable. And so we just have our script that kicks off, says, hey, great question. I can schedule an appointment with a shipping specialist to answer that for you. May I have your name again, please? And so, our flow is here, and I'll just put in, the same test lead we've been working with. I'll call it Bob Apples 2. I can scroll down, and we'll just quickly fill in, all these fields. And we'll say Appleseed Corporation. We'll press next, and we'll say how much does a red shipping container cost? And then we can just say, email for the follow-up. We'll do the 24th, and then I'll put in a different user here. I think we actually have a user called Bob Apples, so we'll just pick him, and we will press next. And so this should create our lead. It does. And then you can see there's a really nice, success message here. It's like, hey, the lead has successfully been created. You may close the window. And this is a nice touch. Sometimes people will forget to do this, and I hope you don't, because this is a really good cue for an end user. It's like, oh, okay, it worked. So we can close that out, and then we can click on the Leads tab, and we see that sure enough, our Bob Apples 2 record is here with all the information we entered, and the company, the phone, and the email. So it worked. We spent a bunch of time building out our flow, and this seems like it's good enough to take back to Pedro and say, hey, we have a working solution for your business use case. And then at that point, you and Pedro could work together to make small tweaks based on his feedback. But for the purposes of this challenge, we're done. Congratulations, great work. So in the next video, we are going to summarize the challenge. We'll discuss some of the things we learned, and then we will end challenge 4.